Hey, what's going on? It's your boy Asiago back at it again with that podcast. The podcast known as 3 a.m. Thoughts. So here we go. I want to open up and just talk about Wi-Fi. It's all around us, and it's very essential for, modern technology. I mean, shoot, from computers, phones, video game consoles, even printers. It seems seemingly, everything just uses Wi-Fi these days. So it's pretty essential that you have good internet, that you have good Wi-Fi. And no, I am not about to, I am not selling out to some freaking Wi-Fi company. In fact, if anything, this is another rant. Like, oh my God. Okay, so I don't know if it was just with me. I don't know if it's just my luck or whatnot. But let's see. Over here, I live in my parents' place. They have AT&T. Yeah. We don't have the cable because we don't use the cable. So they just have the phone and the internet. In which the phone is fine. The phone is fine. But when it comes to the internet, okay, mobile data wise. Yeah, mobile data works. That's the most important thing. It works. But when it comes to the freaking Wi-Fi, I do not know why. But it is just horrible. It is completely horrible. Like Jesus Christ. God. Okay. So here's the deal. Okay. So with my weird work schedule and all that. I'm pretty much awake throughout the entire night, and I sleep through in the mornings, and during the daytime, if it's not my day off, I'm working all day. And even when it is my day off, like I'm just on my phone most of the day, either talking to friends, or I'm playing Minecraft or something like that, or I'm recording other podcasts on my other friends' channels. But here's the thing. But it's really not until nighttime then when I really start needing the internet, because for some reason, it's not until nighttime that I actually start playing online games or where I start watching freaking animated movies and stuff. This is the thing, it's not until nighttime when I do this. And you would think nighttime would be the perfect time to do those things, because at night everybody else is asleep, nobody else is awake, and if there is anybody else awake, chances are it's just my grandma, and well, she has a work schedule too, so. I mean, so she at least has an excuse to be awake, but except for that, either way, everybody else should be awake. Be asleep. And hell, even the other night, this particular night that I'm about to talk about, everybody was asleep. Everybody was asleep. All the TVs are off. All the smart TVs are off. Nobody was using any kind of internet whatsoever. I was literally the only person awake. So my buddy Leslie, he called me up saying, hey, you want to watch a movie over the phone? I said, oh, hell yeah, I got all this time, I got all this energy, and plus, I should have all this Wi-Fi too, because, again, everybody else is asleep. I should have the entire access to the internet, I should have access to the entire, to the best speed of the internet, So I'm over here. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna search this movie up online. I'm gonna watch it on my end while he's watching on his end. Through the same website. We watch movies. Using these websites, and we were using this website called AFTA. And trust me, I use that freaking app not app. I use that website all the time when I'm watching movies, because here's the thing, I'm not that much of a movie guy. As a matter of fact, when it comes to physical media, I'm really only a big fan of that when it comes to video games. Sometimes music, but really video games are the only things, that's the only form of media that I actually really care about when it comes to, preserving, the physical copy of. Again, I have a vinyl record collection, but in comparison to the rest of my freaking over almost 9,000 song packed library on my Walkman, yeah, it's very minuscule. And when it comes to books, I don't read too many books. Not that I don't read at all, but I do have some books. But for the most part, for half the time, I rather read them online, because it's much more convenient, and plus somehow I can read a bit faster on there. But anyways. So again, here's the thing, when it comes to movies, Uh, shoot, I mean, this like years, like I'm talking about at least a decade of just watching these movies. Like I'm watching movies and TV shows and stuff on freaking Netflix, Hulu, Pureflix, Disney Plus. All these streaming sites. Of years of just freaking watching all these movies and TV shows on streaming sites. It kind of like defeats the purpose of going out there and buying a DVD. Now there are some advantages, like hey, you don't have to stream the movie, you don't have to download the movie, you don't have to freaking do all this stuff, blah blah blah. I get it, but here's the thing. I mean, if I can watch this one movie, like if I can watch this one movie, for free on this one legitimate website that I'm using. Like for example, Netflix. I'm only paying like what, like $12 a month for that, and I can watch like freaking Shrek. I don't know if it's on there, but so I can watch Shrek on Netflix, and so I don't have to go to the store and buy Shrek for like $12 at the store or whatever. And with that, we're just being spoiled by that. For the past decade, it just. I don't know, man. Like I kind of like just this attracted me from actually having to go out and buy DVDs. And two, as the years went on, and I stopped actually watching TV, and I started just playing more video games. Like literally, like for the almost the entirety of the last decade, like the only media I actually consumed, like other than music, was video games. I mean, of course I watched movies, of course I watched TV shows, but not nearly on the same level as I did with video games. And it really wasn't until about a year ago that I actually started getting into TV again. Although it was not regular TV, and I'm watching movies a bit more now, but again, not often enough to say I'm watching movies on a regular or whatever. Like literally when I see TV, I'm talking about just anime. Like I freaking go on my anime website. Freaking not Crunchyroll, but 9 Anime. I'm watching my stuff on that, and I'm watching that constantly. But again, as far as TV is concerned, that's really like the closest I'm actually getting. And again, that's the only kind of TV I actually care about anyway. So I mean, why stress? Why stress? And shoot, and I'm using these other websites, to consume my media. And when it comes to movies, I've never been a whole like big movie buff. I like movies, but I don't like watching them all the freaking time. Don't get me wrong. It's not that they're bad. It's not that I don't like them. It's just I don't like watching them all the damn time. Like my parents, they can watch movies all day. I remember like on the weekends, they'd be home all day. Like they'd be just sitting on the couch in the living room all day, watching their massive movie. I'm watching a movie from their massive freaking DVD collection. And whenever they got Netflix and Hulu and all that, like I mean, they're still doing that now. But now even more so, because they have a bigger selection of movies. It's all right there in digital form. And since then, they hadn't been buying as much DVDs. And I'm over here. When it comes to DVDs and stuff, I don't really buy not only can I just get them off of like legitimate websites such as Netflix and Hulu, I'm over here and for the most part, a lot of the stuff that I watch is not even on those websites, because like literally if it's a movie, sometimes it's gonna be something like Judge Dredd or something like that, which won't be on any of those websites, and I have to use this website called AFTA. Or a lot of the times, I'm watching anime and I want to watch the entirety of it in sometimes specifically in dub. So. And a lot of times Netflix doesn't have the entirety or doesn't have the dub, so I have to go on my website anyways. So I just don't fiddle with the freaking websites anymore. Anyways, so here I am, back to the original topic. So here I am, not bottom point. I rely on the internet I rely on having a good Wi-Fi, a good internet for watching my stuff. So I was, so back to the whole Leslie thing. Called me up, wanted me to watch a movie with him. So I don't know if I mentioned it in an earlier in a couple of podcasts ago or whatever, but I said that we watched Happy Death Day over the phone, we were using the after website, and that was pretty awesome. Yeah, I really do love the movie. It's I don't know. I mean, imagine Groundhog Day, but like horror. It was cool. I really liked the concept. And the thing is that I'm not really too big of a fan of horror movies. Not that I'm scared of them. Not that I'm saying they're bad or whatever. It's just that I just find them very repetitive. I just I don't know, I just found them very repetitive. After watching them constantly through middle school, I kind of just got bored of them. Because it was always the same thing. Killer this, killer that, demon possessed girl, demon possessed kid, or demon possessed doll, or freaking psycho killer, wants to kill. It's same old, same old. So I stopped watching them for a while. Then, my buddy Leslie, he starts showing me all these freaking movies, and I'm like, oh my god, they're actually coming up with original content now. Oh, I am thrilled. And so this night came where, again, I had the time, I had the energy, I had the perfect situation where so we plan on watching the sequel, Happy Death Day to You. And God, and my reviews in that movie, after this rant here. So so I get on my computer, I turn the sound bar on, so I open up the after tab, I'm getting all this stuff ready, and then it was already a bad sign. It was already a freaking bad sign. So the bad sign was that it was taking 15 minutes to load the Google page. The Google page for me to search. I'm not even, I just barely turned on my computer. I just barely, got on the Google. Again, it took 15 minutes for the freaking Google search bar to load up. It drove me freaking nuts. And, and it only got worse as time went on. So, it took forever for anything to load at all. And when I actually got to the website, it was taking so long, I had to keep on hitting the freaking, what's that button called? The refresh button. I kept on having to press that over and over again, and still I was getting no results. If anything, I started backtracking, because then whatever little percentage would actually load, after waiting for so long, once I hit that refresh button, it just it just wouldn't load it anymore, because I don't know what was going on with this internet. I reset the router, I pressed that stupid button, I even unplugged it and plugged it back in. Hell, I got so pissed and angry at this point, at one point, where I unplugged it from the wall. I started beating the crap out of it and pulling it back in, and somehow that worked for a little bit, and then and then it started acting stupid again. And I'm like, why is this happening to me? Everybody else is asleep. Everybody else is not using the internet because they're asleep. I'm the only one online right now. Why the hell am I experiencing this? Oh my freaking god. And again, it was just really bad this night. It's just so bad. Nothing was going, nothing was loading, nothing was freaking working. And it was driving me freaking nuts, because I finally have the time and energy to do this, and nothing wants to work. And then all of a sudden, after hitting the refresh button a few times, I couldn't even get on the website no more. And every time I tried getting on the website, Google Chrome would tell me, oh, you can't go on this because it's too dangerous of a website, blah blah blah. So I had to open up Firefox, and I was having worse problems on that because everything was going super slow, and I hated it. I absolutely hated it. Oh my god, I'm trying to just watch a freaking movie here. So what I had to do is, I had to be creative, because I had to be creative, because I really wanted to watch the sequel. I got all pumped up, excited for it. So I went with god damn, man. So let's see. So I decided, you know what? Actually, now I think about it, it wasn't as bad as I thought, or at least this situation I'm about to talk about. So it turns out, this is what I'm thinking now that I actually think about it. I think part of the reason why my internet wasn't working properly was because I was using those illegitimate websites, after. Okay, so I can get why the internet was not loading very much then, but that still doesn't explain why it wasn't freaking loading the damn Google search bar, or it wasn't freaking loading up anything else, or if it was loading anything else, it was loading them up freaking slow as a damn rock. Like I don't understand. But anyways, so I thought, you know what? Why not just find this movie on YouTube? I couldn't find it on YouTube. What if I looked it up on Dailymotion? Couldn't find it on Dailymotion. What if I looked it up on Netflix? Couldn't find it on Netflix. But then I saw that it was available on Hulu, and I know my dad has Hulu, and I could just log on to the freaking account and get on from there. But here is the problem: my parents are not boomers, but sometimes they act like them. And by boomers, I mean just being old, like just old as dirt. I mean, again, my dad's gonna be freaking 40 this year, and my mom's gonna be like 39 this year. But so I mean, they're not that old, but in the grand scheme of things, they're not really old at all. But again, they're so forgetful, like old people. Like, oh my god, like they forget the passwords to everything. Like, I mean, well, the funny thing is that they have this like this old piece of paper where they have all their passwords and stuff, for bill paying websites and for other stuff, other important stuff. But like, you would think, if you're gonna do that, you might as well also get another piece of paper and write down all the passwords for your streaming services. The many streaming services that you're using and paying for. You would think you would keep all those written down too, but apparently they don't, because they're always forgetting them. Freaking. Because the other day, because I use a Mac. I use a MacBook to that's my laptop. But I use a MacBook, and I wanted to get this app. For it, I forgot what specific app it was. I just wanted an app. Actually, it was whenever I got this new mic, and I was like, hey, I want to start recording on my computer. So I was looking for an app on the App Store, and I found this promising looking one. The problem was I couldn't download it. Why? Because I had to enter in the password. And again, for years I knew the password. I knew the password, but then I remember they updated it because my freaking boomer mom forgot. And then so then she just added a capital letter at the beginning, and then she added the number 1 at the end. So I thought, okay, I'm gonna try that. So I typed it in, didn't work. So then I realized she changed it to freaking again, and then it doesn't stop there. Then there's the Netflix. Okay, so back at the old house that we lived in, the Netflix password was our address, our address at the time. And then for some freaking reason, when we moved into this house, they changed the password to freaking to the new address. First of all, why did you need to do that? Like why? If you're gonna are you that dense? Are you gonna forget the password that easily just because we moved to a different location? It's a password. You're not updating the details in your damn driver's license. This is the password for a streaming service. You kind of want to keep it protected, and if anything, keeping it as the old address would make it even more secure, because then if someone tried to freaking again, if someone tried to guess your password, probably one of the first things they would guess would be your address. And if you keep the old address in there, well, they're not gonna realize, they're gonna be here trying to type in the current address, and they're like, oh damn, I can't get in. What the hell is the password? And my god, and again, okay, it's that. Not stupid, but it's not because they forgot or anything like that. But for many other things, for many other streaming services, they'll set up one password for it, and I'll make sure to write it down and keep it in my notes. And then all of a sudden, they change it because they're like, "Oh, I forgot, so I had to change it." And they do it without telling anyone. They do it without telling anyone, and it's not until I get a new console or a new smart whatever, and then I have to or if I decided, I'm gonna temporarily download the app on my phone and and watch them on my phone. It's not until those what do you call those unspecified times, those unprepared times, those unexpected times, that you would actually need the password, and then only to find out that it's been changed because because the owner of the account doesn't know how to write passwords down. Like, oh my freaking god, damn. But anyways, so I wanted to watch this movie on Hulu, and so I was like, damn, you changed the damn Hulu password again. So I had to freaking sign up for the I had to sign up for my own account. So what I did was I signed up for Hulu account with no ads, and then I did the 1 month free trial. It's still currently going on right now. I'm not using it because, again, I don't watch Hulu not nearly enough to really make that worthwhile. Again, like all my anime and stuff I watch on a different website, so and plus Hulu doesn't even have all the freaking animes I watch, and if they do, they don't have all the seasons. So why am I gonna pay for something that's incomplete whenever I'm gonna watch like something that has when I go watch it on a website that has everything and it's for free? See where I'm at here. Anyways, so. And so there you have it. After so much freaking stress, like so much BS, going on. Because I'm over here, and again, I don't think it's just the websites that I was using. I mean, I get it. That was probably a big reason why my internet wasn't working. But even when I was just trying to load the Google tab, it just wouldn't work. And the internet was just so slow; it would not respond to anything. I reset it so many times. I freaking switched from either the downstairs Wi-Fi or the freaking upstairs Wi-Fi. In which the upstairs Wi-Fi is literally just the extender, because I have this extender in my room, and it gets It literally does exactly what it says it does. It extends the Wi-Fi from downstairs and into all of us upstairs. But the thing is that not even that was working. I resetted everything. I did everything in my power to try to do it, and things are just getting so heated. Like the internet is normally bad. It is, but it's never this bad. Like, for the first time ever, freaking, I got so pissed. I started banging on things, started acting like a freaking animal. I freaking started like cussing out everything, like, oh my god. And I don't get that mad very easily. No, I have to get driven to a far point for that to freaking happen. And believe me, this damn internet, again, I had this perfect situation. And again, the internet had no freaking excuse to be acting like this. Everybody was asleep. I was the only one awake using the internet, and yet it still wanted to do this to me. And again, it wouldn't be as bad if the internet wasn't always freaking bad. Because I'm over here freaking, whether I'm watching anime on my anime site, whether I'm watching YouTube, whether I'm looking through Facebook, whether I'm freaking trying to pay bills online, whether I'm trying to do anything on my freaking computer, the internet is always slow. It doesn't, it barely wants to work. Like, oh my freaking god. Like, I'm over here trying to do anything, and it just doesn't want to freaking go. Like, huh? There was once a time where, like, my laptop was the only thing upstairs that would actually work with the Wi-Fi. I miss those days because freaking all of a sudden one day everything else upstairs decided to work, except for my phone and the laptop. Like, it just did a complete, reversal. Freaking, my sister's TV hooked up to the Roku works. Her Google, what was it called? Google Home, Google Dot, whatever it's called, that works. The Alexa and the Echo Dot works fine. The guest bedroom TV completely works fine with the Roku. My PS4 works. My Switch works. Everything here freaking works except for my damn computer on my phone. Like, especially on my phone, I shouldn't have to freaking turn the Wi-Fi off in order to freaking make the phone function. I really shouldn't. I don't know why it's like that, but and it's not just over here at this house. It's also the Wi-Fi over there at the store. But then again, like, especially during this whole virus thing, like, everybody's been coming to the store. Everybody's been logging on to that damn Wi-Fi. So I don't know. Maybe it might be that. But anyways, God, this bad internet. Like it's for so long. It has made me so damn frustrated that you know what? And I'm gonna hate myself later for this, or probably might love myself. Probably both. But you know what? I'm gonna look up some some internet data plans and see if I can start paying for my own internet. Like I probably should have been doing that already, anyways, being 21 and all. But still, like like I'm taking initiative. I need freaking decent internet like right now, freaking. And plus, it'd be kind of nice to to pay for my own mobile data and I feel like an adult for once. Well, me, because not that I don't pay bills or anything like that. I mean, I paid a car now, and then I got the car paid off, but I still pay rent. I still pay my insurance and stuff like that. I still pay for my own groceries. I pay for my own gas and stuff. Like for the most part, I'm pretty self-sufficient, but I don't know. But I think I should take it to the next step by doing the phone too. I'll probably get either. There we go. Probably either get like a phone and data plan, or a phone and internet plan, where I can just freaking get get a router installed here in my room. And then not only have not only pay for this internet, but be the only person that can connect to the router in my room. That's my plan. Yeah, because I'm gonna make sure that I'm gonna be the only person logged onto this. There'll be only a few things logged onto this internet, like my phone, my laptop, my game consoles, nothing more, nothing less. And I'm gonna make sure that I'm gonna make you ashamed if you try to log on. Freaking I'm probably gonna name my Wi-Fi something like Christian porn or something like that, or some really weird or sketchy name that you wouldn't want to even freaking try to mess with. I'm not gonna name it child porn or anything like that, because I mean that might be, first of all, that might be taking it too far. Second of all, that probably might get police to be like, huh, what is this? I'm gonna arrest this guy, and then they find out it's just a stupid name, and then I get myself in this whole freaking pickle situation for nothing, for a stupid joke. But anyways, so that's my internet. That's the Wi-Fi. That's that's a little first world problem that I'm having, and again. Not again, in the whole grand scheme of the world, not a significant problem in any of the least, but it's still something that just pisses me off, freaking. And so now I'm over here. I think I'm ready to pay for my own internet and phone plan, or at least my own internet, because I'm tired of having this secondhand freaking cheap dollar discount store internet, that only works if you're like an elite or something like that, or actually, I want to work on this little insult. This cheap dollar store freaking gym sock wearing freaking crapping on the toilet smelling freaking crappy Wi-Fi that doesn't work. That doesn't work even when everybody else is asleep or whatever. Okay, I didn't really improve too much on the freaking rant. Not the rant, the insult, but hey, I did what was on my mind. But anyways, damn, brother, I hate this damn Wi-Fi, man. Surprisingly, it's working really. It works. It always works fine whenever I'm recording my podcasts on it. Again, that's the only exception, and I'm glad that that's an exception. But again, it would be nice if it worked this nicely, if it worked this way towards everything else. I'm tired of having to wait freaking 15 minutes for something to load, especially if it's nothing but a few lines of text. What if I just want to look up some of my messages on Messenger? I mean, I could look at my phone, but what if my phone's dead or something like that and it needs a charge? I have my computer here, but sometimes it's not very reliable because, again, the internet, and I don't have any mobile data on this freaking laptop. So the Wi-Fi is the only way I can connect to the internet. So how the hell am I supposed to freaking, cope with this, man? Now let's start taking matters in my own hands, man. But anyways, so my next topic will be discussed in my next segment. Here we go. Alright, here we go. So, You know, so this entire so up to this point, so far in this entire podcast, I've been talking about freaking, Wi-Fi, internet connection, stuff like that, and that leads me, to my next topic. You know what else uses the internet connection? What has to connect to Wi-Fi, or at least the modern ones, video game consoles. And since this is called 3 a.m. Thoughts, I am literally just talking about what's on my mind. Sometimes at 3 a.m., sometimes not necessarily at 3 a.m. Okay, I'll admit, it's actually 6:18 a.m. as I'm recording this, but I've been having this thought since 3 a.m. So, take that as it will. But anyways, video game consoles, man. Shoot, so growing up, throughout my life, I played lots of video games, and I've had, many video game consoles, and currently do own a lot of them as well. So, so let's see. Let's rewind time a bit here. So the first video game I've ever played, that is very arguable in my memory. So, I know, like, if you really want to count it, I think the first video games I played were on a PC. Well, actually, they basically were on a PC. Because I remember, like, there was this weird, like, Arthur game. It was like some kind of preschool game, where, oh god, I want to burp, but I can't burp. Damn. Oh, that was a weak burp. Damn. But anyways, so there's this like this really weird Arthur game. It was some kind of like preschool game, but the whole deal was that so it was, for the most part, it was a point and click game. You go through the story of how Arthur broke the computer and how he has to fix it and all that. It ends up being freaking, oh, you just left the computer, you just turned the computer off. All you have to do is turn it back on again, or something like that. And in this Arthur game, you just click on random things. You progress through the story by clicking arrows, and you can interact with all like the little objects in the on the page. Nothing too fancy. That's a pretty standard point and click game. But except there were these segments where you can actually interact and play something like a real game. And like you could say that this was my first actual experience with a game. So in this freaking Arthur game, the story revolves around him, playing on the computer. And in the story, there would be this game he would play on the computer. It was called like Deep Sea Diver or something like that. But the whole point of the game within the game was that you play as this again, as a scuba diver, and basically it was a side scroller. All you had to do was just make it to the end of the level without dying, and then and make it to the treasure at the end. It was very, very simple. There was no combat. There were enemies, but they didn't really attack you unless they touched you, and you couldn't receive damage from them unless they touched you. And again, they don't they weren't really offensive. They don't really go after or anything like that. You just had to avoid them. That was all. And again, like the only reward at the end was that, oh, you got the treasure chest at the end of the level, yay! And then you unlock more levels. And that was the very simple thing. But again, like I said, it was probably really, I think that was my first real experience into gaming. And I was really like, and being like what, like a 3-4 year old at the time, I was really like, I was really into it, and I really liked what I was playing, and that would actually be my favorite segment, playing this little stupid Arthur game, and for the longest while I hadn't had anything like it. So I would always be playing that every single day, thinking, "Oh wow, there can't be anything else like this, right?" But then my dad comes up one day, freaking with an Atari Greatest Hits, CD for the PC, and I didn't know what the hell Atari was, but all I knew was the CD cover looked cool, and so he put it into the to the CD-ROM, and then I was introduced to the classics like very early on. I think I was like 4 or 5. Yeah, when he when he gave us the Atari CD. So man, so like, so I think then in this case, this would be like my real for real freaking introduction to into gaming. Because then I'm starting up with the old classics that the same classics that the boomers started out with, freaking, and literally one of the I think literally the first game I played, but the first Atari video game that I played was Pong. Just like with many people, my first experience was Pong. Freaking no, like it was a simple game, but somehow being as young as I was and just seeing like the simple, graphics or even lack thereof, on the screen, I understood the concept. Like I mean, again, even being the stupid kid that I was, just the way Pong was designed, it's very simple to grasp. The concept of it. Pretty much anyone can grasp the concept of what you do in Pong. Just hit a square, on your paddle, and just try and just pass it on to the next person. Just don't let it get past you. It's pretty damn simple. And I had a lot of fun playing that. And so, like, when I say Atari's greatest hits, yeah, we're talking about like all the like again the greatest hits, but we're not talking about 2600. No, we're talking about the actual arcade versions. So again, a couple podcasts ago, I said I said that, yeah, when it comes to the Atari 2600, I'm not too fond of again, I love the console itself. But I'm not too fond of the games that came off it. I mean, again, for the most part, because again, graphics wise, I had no idea what I was doing most of the time, and yeah, it would just kind of made the games unplayable for me. And again, with growing up with the actual arcade versions of these games and trying to replay them on the actual uh on the home console versions, I don't know. It just didn't fit. It doesn't fit well with me because I'm so like used to how they should look like, and then the 2600 is just a far cry from what they should be. And I get it. Back in the day, that I mean, they had no other choice. If you wanted to play the real version of these games, you would have to go to the freaking arcade. And these home versions were the closest that you can get to having those same experiences. At your house. Not having to pay quarters every time you wanted to play. But anyways. I digress, but still, like just playing these games. I grew up with these. I grew up playing Tempest. Breakout, freaking. What else was there? Asteroids, freaking the Asteroids. Yes, I love that game. Problem was, that game scared me because here's the thing. It's black and white. Like the entire background is just nothing but black, and then all I would hear is dun 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 dun. And for some reason, like as a little kid, that always scared me. Like just I would like I remember having to turn the volume down all the way on the computer just to play it because like the freaking the freaking what you call it, the game would always scare me because again I just had this black background. I heard that unsettling background music. I think it's supposed to be background music, and like and the sound effects, albeit they were cool, again it's kind of added to the unsettlingness. The kind of the amount of stuff that scared me. Playing it, like I don't know why I found it scary. I just did, like, and especially whenever I'd be playing like at night and I'm in a dark room trying to play this game. I don't know. It made me feel like a freaking like a monster or something like that was going to come out of the screen or something. I don't know. Or that probably might have been a point. But anyways, so let's move on from PC. Let's go on to actual consoles. So actually, I remember growing up. I see. This wasn't a console, but I do want to give this thing a shout out. So one of my first real another one of my first experiences in video gaming was this plug and play. Plug and plays. They were a real big thing back in the 2000s, and they still kind of are in this day, except they're called flashbacks, or you got the freaking I forgot what they're called. I think Blast, Blast to the Past or something like that. Little things you see at Walmart. Basically, like a little thing you plug into the HDMI port, and it has a Sega Genesis rip-off controller, and you just play old school games on them. But anyways, again, but I'm referring to the plug and plays, like literally just a controller with wires sticking out of it that connect directly to the TV. Those things. So the first one that I remember having was one. Again, it was shaped like a Sega Genesis controller, but except it had 6 Sega Genesis games in it. I remember there was Sonic. I think Sonic 1. I don't know if Sonic 2 was on there. Probably not. There's Altered Beast, Dr. Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine, and 3 others that I do not remember. But again, those 3, I remember half of the library, but the half that I do remember, they were pretty impressionable because I played Sonic for the first time, so I got to see what he was all about. And again, this was the first time I even experienced a Sonic game, and it was freaking lit. Like freaking going super fast, like the music, the colors, freaking just. And again, like going off from the Atari graphics straight into Sega Genesis, that was pretty damn dope, man. It was surely an experience. My God. And then I remember, I think it was around the same time where my dad found this emulator website on the computer, and and by this I think it was like the late mid 2000s, maybe like around 2006 or so. So I'm getting a little bit out of chronological order, but I remember he found this old Nintendo 8-bit Nintendo emulation website, and you don't download the emulators, like you play them directly on the website. And I tried looking it up the website now. I don't think it exists anymore. It was called Nintendo8.com, and like from the start, you can select these games you can play on that website. For the first time, he introduced me to Super Mario Brothers. My God, did I fall in love with that game as soon as I started playing it. Shoot, from the moment I started playing it, it quickly became one of my favorite games of all time. For the while, I mean, it's still like in my top 20, but it's no longer in my top 5 or my top 10. I mean, definitely much a lot of other games have taken that spot, and you already freaking know Banjo Kazooie will always be my number 1. But anyways, but at that moment though, at that point in time, Super Mario Brothers, the original, the OG, was my number 1. So, anyways, let's get back to consoles. So this was, I'd say, about let's see, what year did I turn 7? Let's see. Actually, yeah, so maybe like a year before, 2005 to be exact. 2005. Or definitely like maybe early 2005. Really, I remember my dad got he got me and my sister. He got the family a GameCube. I'm guessing the reason why he got a GameCube was because it's the kids' console, and he grew up on Nintendo. So I mean, seeing the latest console Nintendo made, he thought, okay, can't go wrong with that. The problem was that like it's not that we didn't have fun on the GameCube; it's that we didn't play the GameCube very much, like not very much to the point to where he didn't get his money value out of it. So he returned the console back to the store, and then for a while, we didn't have a console at all. And when he got the GameCube, it's not like he got Super Smash Brothers Melee with it or anything like that. Like he had this weird Pokemon game. I think it was like some kind of Pokemon Snap game that me and my sister didn't really like. And he got this Matrix game, but the Matrix game is like only he and my mom would play. But again, but in the grand scheme of things, nobody was playing the console much enough to really to make it worthwhile. So he returned it back to the store. Or actually, I think he might have been renting the console. Now that I think about it, because at the time my mom was working at a Blockbuster, and that's where we would get a lot of our DVDs from. That's where I would get a lot of my games from. And I think at the time you could also rent consoles, so maybe you got it from there. I'm not too sure. I mean, I'm not too sure. I didn't really pay attention to stuff like that back in the day, but anyways, back to the topic. So later that year, for my 7th birthday, I got a PS2, and oh boy, I had some really good memories on that PS2, man. Playing Hulk 2003 on it, freaking robots. The Incredibles: Rise of the Underminer, which I will say that should have been the real sequel, not the freaking uh, subpar sequel that we got freaking 2018. But anyways, I freaking man, I grew up on the PS2. I grew up on PlayStation, man. Like like damn, and really, like I don't know what exactly. Actually, I do know what exactly inclined my dad to my parents to get me a PS2 instead of an Xbox. I mean, for obvious reasons, they didn't they decided not to stick with the GameCube because me and my sister, none of us were really playing it all that much, so probably just thought, oh, it's not for us. So, and then I think what stopped them from getting me an Xbox was the fact that with the PS2, it doubled as a DVD player. And as much as I played games on it, they would watch movies on it. And for the longest time, they used my PS2 as a DVD player, all the way up to the day it finally broke. And we found out that it was a freaking roach heaven. But anyways, but shoot, like the old PS2, man. So it was because of the fact that it doubled as a DVD player. Freaking, they got me a PS2, and it was because of their decision. I became a freaking. I got on the whole PS2, man, Team PlayStation. Shoot, like, I mean, if they already had a DVD player, they probably would have gotten me an Xbox, and I probably would be an Xbox buff, to this day. But anyways, uh, shoot. So PS2, I grew up on the PlayStation, man, and it was all fun. It was all fun and games, quite literally. But yeah, and I just had some really good times. I had some really good memories, man. So many good games. Oh God. I don't know why. Every time I talk for an extended period of time, I just have to burp. I don't know. Maybe I'll look that up and make that the next topic or something. Actually, no. The next topic is going to be my Star Wars episode because tomorrow is May the 4th. May the 4th be with you. Well, anyways, so let's move forward. Let's move forward a bit. So the year is 2009. Yeah, 2009. For my 11th birthday, I got another console. It was the Wii because by this time, like I think maybe like a few months before my birthday, my PS2 finally broke down because I remember too, like the last night that I had my PS2. I was playing my games. Then my dad was like, "Okay, you're done. We want to watch a movie." And I was like, "But no, I finally got past this level. This level, I can't stop now." And so I freaking got mad at me. He yelled at me, and so I'm like, "Okay." I had to save the game. I had to take the game out. And I had to go to my room, and they put in their DVD and they were watching it. And then like halfway through the movie, like it just stopped. Like the PS2 just completely stopped. It bricked. And then and no matter what they did, they were working in it for like an hour or so, and they just couldn't make it they couldn't make it work anymore. Open it up, find a whole bunch of freaking dead roaches in it, and I'm like, what the hell? And God, like, I was so scarred by that. Like, Jesus, all these damn roaches living in my game console, and they freaking broke it. God, I'm actually thinking about getting a PS2 again because I already have a whole big collection here going on, which I will mention later in the segment. But let's move on. So I got a Wii for my 11th birthday, 2009. So it was a pretty fun experience. So Wii Sports, definitely, definitely experience worthwhile. Uh, yeah, like we were playing that with the family. Love the bowling part. Love the boxing part. Now that, man, when I had my cousins with me, we were all just boxing each other. Man, so many salty times, but so many fun times as well, man. Let me tell you that, man. Shoot. And the Wii, I grew up with so many good games on it. Freaking, there was Mad World. Damn, like, I mean, really, my dad bought that game for himself because it was immature and I wasn't allowed to play those kind of games yet. But being the kid that I was, I played it anyways. Freaking fun. Actually, it was so fun, in fact, that when I got a Wii again last year, that was the first game that I bought for it. Like hell, because because again, like if how can you not have how can you not have Mad World when with the Wii? Like, I mean, okay, so it's not like a Nintendo Classic or anything like that, but still, it's a Wii exclusive and a really damn good Wii exclusive at that. But anyways, Super Mario Galaxy, Super Smash Bros. Brawl. The first time I actually played online. Because I remember like me and my old homeboy Marco, freaking we used to we used to call each other on like I don't think. Oh yeah, it was on FaceTime. Yeah, on the iPhone FaceTime. And then we were like, "Hey, you want to play a match of Super Smash Bros. Brawl?" And I'd be like, "Hell yeah!" So we shared our friend codes on the Wii, and then we freaking play. We played online. It was quite an experience because I'm like, wow, for the first time ever, I'm actually playing. I'm playing with a friend, but he's not having to actually be here at the house. I thought that was just cool as hell, man. But anyways, so aside from the Wii, uh, a little bit later down the road, I think maybe that same year actually, or actually yeah, well, actually the next year, but in that yeah the next year, but like towards the end of the school year, uh, so they were my neighbors, the neighbors across the street from us. They were having a garage sale, or not just a garage sale, a whole in-house sale because they're so because I'm guessing like they just didn't want to bring all that stuff to the new house they're moving to, so they're just selling a bunch of stuff inside the house, garage, rooms, everything. And I remember it was everybody from the freaking neighborhood was there. Everybody was buying stuff. Man, there was some pretty good damn stuff too. But me being a kid, I only had a limited amount of money. So I remember freaking having like $15 on me. And then I went across the street, found this weird looking console, and man, and I saw the name of it, Nintendo 64. I remember that name being mentioned in an episode of Matters that I was watching like the night before, and I was like, hey, I heard about this. I want to try this out. So for $15, I got the console, I got a whole butt ton of games, 4 controllers, a memory card. I got the entire set, man. It was so fun playing the original Super Smash Brothers, playing freaking Banjo Kazooie, which from that point on became my number one game, and it still is. And oh my freaking god, it's just I had so many good experiences with that, and again, even the whole fact that like it was an older console with older graphics and all that, it still didn't like distract from me from it because the games were just generally good, and plus I didn't really think about the way the graphics looked because I mean, despite how weird and kind of blocky they looked, at least I could tell what the hell I was playing. But sadly though, I remember selling it to the local game store. I think it was called Movie Galore, because I was like, yeah, I'm gonna sell it and then buy an NES with it, so I can play those games. But unfortunately, the only NES they had there was for testing purposes, and I ended up just selling my freaking console for $20 with everything, and it was horrible. I don't know why. Actually, I remember why I went ahead and sold it anyways, because I was like, well, I could save up for an NES. Never did that, but that didn't mean I wouldn't get an NES eventually. So I remember I got so later that year for my later, not that year, but for my 14th birthday, I got myself a PS3. Freaking play Modern Warfare 3 all the time. Play GTA 4. Man, some really good dope memories on that, man. I remember in another podcast I already said, freaking 8th grade. From 8th grade onwards, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna wake up at 5 in the morning every day before school and just freaking hurry up and get myself ready and just play freaking GTA and Modern Warfare and all that before class. And damn, had some really fun times on that. Had to play some really good games. Assassin's Creed 3, that was a freaking trip for me. Damn. So let's go on to like I think the next year actually. The next year I got myself a Wii U using birthday money because I managed to get like maybe a couple $100, like 200 some bucks in birthday money, and then because my grandma, she wanted to be generous and give me another 200, and I thought, hey, you know what, let's go to GameStop, and being the Nintendo fanboy that I was, and seeing that, hey, this new console came out, freaking Wii U, and I got all excited, and especially because of the controller, because I don't know why, but of all things, the controller made me real excited for the console. Well, actually, well, I'm not too surprised. I mean, the PS5 controller is making me excited for the PS5. But anyways, freaking the controller, bro. Like, damn, I remember taking the $400, buying the Wii U, the deluxe set, the black one for 32 gigabytes. It came with Zombie U and a downloadable code for Nintendo Land. I had some real fun experiences on that, especially with freaking Mario Maker, freaking Super Mario 3D World. It was just a blast, man. That console. Too bad it had poor marketing, But I remember with my personal experience with it, it was just it was off the chain, brother. But then I ended up selling that one later because because I wasn't playing it no more, and other stuff was going on in my life, and and I just wanted the money. So, and I'll explain that on another podcast, probably like on Wednesday or something like that. And I remember too, I ended up selling the PS3 because one time one time, me and my buddy Victor, it was after school, and we would play it every day after school. Play GTA 5, and we play for hours. But I remember this one time, like freaking, I was supposed to do chores, after school, and me and my buddy Victor, we were just playing freaking GTA 5. I got in trouble, and I was like, man, I'm tired of freaking this always like getting me in trouble, distracting me and stuff. Because even like outside of school in the summertime, I'll be playing PS3 all day. But I remember, I have all these freaking chores to do, and so I couldn't. I don't know. I would always get in trouble. So I thought, I should probably, stop playing it. And I stopped playing it for a while, and then my phone got broken. And to the point to where my screen was like about to fall off my phone, so I needed the money quick. So I sold my PS3, used the money to put a down payment on a new phone, and so there was that. And then for my I think my 15th birthday, actually, yeah, my 15th birthday, I got an NES. Finally, after freaking like 4 years, I finally get myself an NES. Well, I didn't get myself an NES. My parents got me an NES, and I still have it to this day. So, like, this was the point to where I said, you know what? No more selling consoles. I'm keeping them. I'm gonna try to keep them at all costs. And so I remember 2017, after I graduated, I got so much freaking money. It was almost like how you get birthday money, from birthday cards and stuff. For some reason, everybody just gave me money, on the day. I stayed, I ended up accumulating over $300. Damn. So I thought, you know what, I could buy a new console with this, but I'm not getting myself a modern console. No, 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 because you see, for the while, the only console I had was an NES. And oh yeah, and the Wii, I didn't have that. You want to know why? It's because a couple of years back, I ended up donating the Wii to the youth group at church because I wasn't playing it no more, and then I sold my other consoles after that. So literally, the NES was the only console I freaking had. Like, oh my god, freaking damn. But anyways, so I thought, you know what, I want to be a retro gamer, so I already have an NES. Why not? Why not get a Genesis? So the Genesis was actually the first console that I actually, well, besides the Wii U, the first retro console that I actually bought using my own money. You know, and man, the experiences I had on that, and again, I still have that console to this day. It's just freaking damn fun. And actually, the next year, freaking, because I already had a job, I was working and all that, got myself a Nintendo Switch, still have that to this day. Man, that's all fun and dandy. And shoot, when we moved to this new place, I got myself a Gamers Tech brand Super NES that outputs in HD. So freaking, I get to experience that. That all crisp and clear colors and graphics. So, and shoot. And then I started buying back old consoles. Like, I bought back my I didn't. It's not the exact Nintendo 64 that I had growing up, but it's another. But I bought another N64. With some of my favorite games I grew up when I had the original N64. I bought another Wii. But the thing about this Wii is that it's what you call it? It's modded, so it already has a whole bunch of like GameCube, Wii, freaking Atari, NES, Super NES. It has all these games built into it. Shoot, it even has Virtual Boy games built into it. I got myself a PS1, and recently, my latest console, I got myself a PS4. So I got a real big collection going on here, and I'm so excited for what I want to get next. Like shoot, like I want to get a ColecoVision, I want to get an Xbox 360. Like there's so many consoles I want to get, but damn, so many consoles, so little time, brother, so little time. Damn, man. So, shoot. Talking about all those consoles. I would talk about them even more. Might make a part 2, might not. Just depends on what I feel like. But shoot, with all these different consoles, you may be thinking, how do I have time to play all of them? Well, that's the thing. I don't. Or at least not all the time. I mean, shoot, like, again, I'm awake most of the night, and I have 3 days off. Freaking, despite me working, like, over 40 hours a week still. But, anyways. And again, I see again. As much time as I don't have, I also at the same time have a lot of time to myself. It's kind of weird. I mean, even when the whole like quarantine is not in place, and I'm hanging out with even when I'm either like working or hanging out with friends, I still have managed to have a lot of time to myself, and that's how I start. That's how I've been watching a lot of anime. For the past like year, and then I have this collection of consoles here, and so again, I don't play them all like frequently. Like shoot, there are some points where I'll play like the N64 a lot more than the others, or the PS4, or the freaking Wii, or the GameCube in the Wii. Or the Switch. They're kind of like in waves. Or sometimes, I might go on a little video game marathon. I'm like, okay, so we're gonna start things off on the GameCube, then we're gonna switch to the Genesis, and then we're gonna finish things off on the PS4 or something like that. Yeah, and it's a good variety. Damn, like if you love games, definitely I recommend. Hey, just build your library, because there's all kinds of different games you can play, in your library. Unless you're a PC gamer, because then you probably don't care about freaking consoles, and you can probably play all these games on your freaking machine anyways. But let's not get too further. Actually, before I completely close up, I would like to point out that I remember mentioning earlier that I'm still thinking about getting a PS2 again. The thing is that I would get the PS2 if I didn't do what I already did for the GameCube, because so I don't actually have a physical GameCube. I do have a Wii, and I use the Wii as a GameCube. So what I did was, because growing up, I had a GameCube for like a week, but I didn't play any games or any significant games that I would want to like buy back. So what I did was that I remembered all the games that I grew up playing on the PS2. None of them were first-party games. They were all games that are also available on the GameCube and the original Xbox. So I thought, hey, why not just get back my entire original collection of the games I enjoyed on the PS2 for the GameCube. And that's exactly what I did. So nowadays, when I'm playing, Robots, the video game, or Hulk 2003, or Shadow the Hedgehog, or The Incredibles, Rise of the Underminer, or any of these games, anytime I'm playing any of these games, I'm playing them on the GameCube. It's fun to have, I have the entire original collection that I started off with on the PS2. I got back my original collection. Now I have that along with all the freaking stuff that I have now, from the classics, from the stuff in the 80s, the 90s, the 2000s, the 2010s, hell, even the 2020s. Shoot, I got all this great stuff, man. It feels so good to have all this content, but it does lead to this one little problem here. Now I've got to the point where you count all my multi-cartridges, you count all the stuff that's downloaded into my consoles, hell, even the Wii alone, and you just add everything up. I quite literally have hundreds, possibly maybe 1,000 or a couple thousand games, And, so I have all these games. Good, bad, new, old, modern, recent, whatever. I have all these freaking games. And so, and then, so I hadn't even scratched the freaking surface when it comes to playing any of them. So there's a lot of games that I don't even know I have yet. There's a lot of games that I know I have, but I would rather play those more often. And when it comes to buying games, I'm over here so if I know, like, if I obviously don't have a game yet, like for some that barely just came out, or for some for my more recent consoles, yeah, I'm not gonna have too much of a problem with that. Well, the only problem I will have is that, again, like, I remember buying Doom Eternal at launch, but I've only played like the first 20 minutes of that game, and I literally put it up because then I started playing another game, and when I do that, I'm just postponing all the other games that I freaking buy. Like, hell, like I bought freaking God of War 3, but I hadn't even opened up the freaking plastic off that because I'm over here playing freaking Spider-Man. Because I would be playing Last of Us 2, but freaking they wanted to delay that. I'm not going to talk about the leaks or anything like that because, first of all, I hadn't seen any of the leaks. I don't want to talk about them, and thirdly, I'm trying to wrap things up here. So, nah. Anyways. Shoot, and then and the problem even it grows bigger when you get to my older stuff because whenever I'm buying like games for my older consoles. Now I really gotta consider: do I already have this game in my multi cartridges, or do I already have this game downloaded onto the Wii? I gotta ask myself those questions, and it makes it really hard to buy old games because I remember I don't want to be spending money on a game that I already have, whether I know it or not. Again, first world problem, but you know what? It's a first world problem that I love to have. Sorry if I'm bragging or whatever, go ahead, freaking leave a nasty comment or whatever. Actually, I don't even think you can comment on this thing. But anyways, let me wrap this up here. So if you made it this far, thank you for listening to the podcast. Thank you for listening to what I had to say. More are to come. Okay, so tomorrow, because right now it's currently May the 3rd. Tomorrow I am dropping my first annual Star Wars podcast. Yes, because it's May the 4th, and the 4th be with you, may you. I don't know if I said that right, but hey, you know what? Yeah, Star Wars. Oh, I can't wait to talk about that. And then after the Star Wars podcast, Desmond, he is coming. Oh, we get to finally interview him. Oh, he's been telling me he wants to play this song, on the show. You know what? But we're gonna do that. He's gonna play us a freaking song. I'm so pumped up and ready for that. So I'm excited. So anyways, this is your boy Asiago on the podcast known as 3M Thoughts, signing off. Have you a good one.